An opening statement, and then we'll go to questions.
Well, just like we drew it up. Not so fast. You know, it's obviously a win. You know, we're never going to be upset about winning. You know, I'm just very happy that our team showed the character they did in the second half. Came out and played much better against a good football team who executed very, very well. Got to give New Hampshire a ton of credit. I thought they did a nice job. They were much more physical than I anticipated going in, especially on their defensive line and their front seven. And they got good players, and we knew that going into the game they were going to be a good football team. And you know, they were a playoff team last year, and they had about everybody back on both sides of the ball. So, you know, as a coach, you don't like, you know, these games are, you know, they're funny. But challenged them at halftime. Challenged them. Got pretty personal with them, and they responded. So I think our defense held them to 8 points in the second half, which was a real positive, and then obviously our offense got on track due to a large part due to our freshman quarterback, Cooper Rush. I thought got to give Cooper a lot of credit. You know, it's a tough thing to do. I don't know if any of you guys ever did that before. Be a backup quarterback and don't know if you're going to play, and then you get thrown into a tough game, and it's pouring rain, and things aren't going very well. You know, it's almost unfair to do to guys, but you know, you also find out about guys' makeup and their character, and I've had to do that before in the past as a player, and I've obviously been around it as a coach. It's not easy, so I give a lot of credit to Cooper, and then also to Ron Caluzzi, another freshman kicker who you know, did a great job. We needed his team needed him. He stepped up and made a big kick. So at the end of the day, I give them a lot of credit, and we got a lot of work to do.
Coach, put Cooper in early. He looked really comfortable in the pocket. Were you surprised at how well he did?
No, I wasn't surprised how well he did. He practices like that. He had a great week of practice. You know, you never know though with a freshman. You know, and it's the same thing with Alex, who's a young player. I mean, he's a sophomore. And they haven't played in college. You know, so you never know quite how they're going to respond. But I thought he did a few good things at the end of the first half, and got himself some confidence, I think, and then his team really rallied around him too. And you know, it's nice to have the wideouts that we have too. And I thought in the second half, we didn't run the ball great ever, but we were more efficient in the second half. We were able to get a couple runs to give us some breathing room and get in some second sixes and second fives where we could run our offense.
Is he your starter next week?
Pardon me?
Is he going to be your starter next week?
You know what? I don't know yet. Probably, yeah. But we're going to look at the tape and we'll discuss it. But there's a real good chance, obviously, he's played that way. I'd say probably will be.
Was that the plan going in? Was Alex and Cooper both going to get some work?
No, we were going to play Alex, and you saw us. We're sputtering, to say the least. It's probably a kind word. And felt like we needed to make a change just to spark. And you know, in the past couple of years, you know, we've been in here and you guys have said to me, you know, like, Ryan Radcliffe, did you think about pulling him? And I always said no, because we didn't have anybody to put in it that we felt was ready. You know what I mean? And the difference against Michigan last week and again today is that we felt that Cooper was ready. You know, we felt like he would go in there and give us a chance to win and understand what we're doing. So, you know, to me, that's the big thing.
Was there a certain player series where you kind of started going back and forth with yourself about whether you should insert Cooper or not?
You know, in the beginning of the second quarter there or whatever, I thought we had a couple of receivers open and we didn't get him the ball. You know, I thought, you know, Alex was a little tentative. You know, and you can't play that position if you're tentative. You know, you got to play instinctively, and I didn't feel he was playing that way. I thought he was playing a little slow, and so we went with Cooper just to see if we could get something going. You know what I mean? And we felt that we had good matchups in our pass game, and we know that he's a good passer. He's very accurate, and he's got things to work on still, but he's very talented as a thrower.
Can you talk about the performance of the receivers today? A lot of them stepped up, especially Titus Davis had 184 yards.
Titus is a great player. You know, the big guy to me was Jesse Kroll. You saw him. Jesse Kroll's a football player. You know, we've known about him for now. He's a third-year sophomore. He would have played as a true freshman, Jesse, but he broke his forearm during two-a-days his true freshman year, and that shelved him, or else he would have played that year too. He's very talented. He's a 39-inch vertical jump, 6'3", 215. So I was glad he got going a little bit. He couldn't play last week. He had an ankle, and we really pushed him this week, and he pushed himself. He's a competitor. And Jesse Kroll, I think, is going to be a very good player. He's got great size, ball skills, and he can run. And then Andrew Flory, I thought, made some obviously big catches. And then Titus Davis he's a difference maker. We got to continue to find ways to get him the ball more.
How important is it to have a player like that can turn a drive that started on the 3-yard line and in 2 plays score?
It's huge. To be a good offense, you can't just drive the ball down the field, 12-play drives, and score. That's just not how football works. You got to have explosive plays. Titus gives us that. Not having Zerline is really going to put it more on our receivers and some of those guys' plays too, because Zerline was able to give us a lot of explosive plays last year as well. You know what I mean? And we couldn't get those out of the run game today, so we needed those in the pass game, and we were able to get. I know Titus had several explosive plays. Jesse had 1 or 2 explosive plays, and I think Andrew did as well. Had a touchdown catch of 20 yards or so. So we're going to need to find explosive plays, and Titus is a guy that can provide that for us.
You mentioned challenging the guys at halftime. What did you see in the first half, and can you tell us what you said at halftime?
I didn't say anything that I probably couldn't repeat. I just said, that's not us. I said, who is that out there, guys? That's not us. I said, we're not playing the way we can play. We're playing tentative. We weren't playing fast. We weren't playing aggressive. We weren't playing like we practiced, and we challenged our team this week. We said, don't let Michigan beat us twice. Don't let them beat us last week and then let that hangover carry into this game. And I felt like we were just, afraid to make a mistake. You know what I mean? And so we challenged them at halftime, like, hey guys, this is the season right now. I mean, who are we gonna be? We gotta start figuring out who we are, our character, our toughness. I said, at the end of the day, we don't care if we win 3-2 or whatever. Win, find a way to win this game. And I give them credit, and I'll give them credit too, because we took the ball down and got stopped on a 4th and 1, and the win could have gone out of the sails at that point too, and I don't think it did. I think our guys just kept playing and kept believing. So, we got to do better, but it was good to see us win.
Sorry. Is there something playing tricky about playing these FCS teams? I mean, last year you were down 24-10, and the team also came back against an FCS team. Are these just challenging?
Yeah, it is. They're good football teams. They I talk to college football coaches about this all the time. There's not a lot of difference between a lot of college football teams talent-wise. It's just you got to find an edge. You got to get guys to play, and they're a veteran team. We're a veteran team in some areas, but in some areas we're not. You know what I mean? We've got a true sophomore playing tailback. We played a freshman quarterback. We got a freshman kicker. You know what I mean? So there's certain areas where we're young and we needed to grow up. And good. Teams like that have a lot of talent and they're experienced, they're tough to beat. And you look. Did you guys look at New Hampshire? How many teams they've beaten over the years? They've beaten Northwestern, Rutgers, Marshall. I think the last time they were here, they were up at halftime. They were beating Central here. The last time they were here, and Central ended up coming back and win, I think, 40-33 in a really, really close game. Coach Cummings was here coaching, I believe, at the time, and told me that. So they're notorious for this over the years. They're a good, well-coached, good football team.
You mentioned your defense. Cam Frazier made some plays. What changed after the first quarter? New Hampshire seemed like they were moving the ball rather easy. What changed?
I think we settled in. It's like an option team. You simulate the no huddle in practice, the zone reads, the bubbles, all the stuff. You know what I mean? And you simulate in practice with our offense trying to do it and the scout team trying to do it. And then when you actually get out there and people know what they're doing and they're doing it well and they're doing it fast and they've been doing it for years, it takes a little time to adjust to it. And I think that was the big thing.
Was it also a little tougher to adjust to them just because you didn't have film of their offense from last week?
Absolutely. We had 2 first games really this year. And that's a great question because not a lot of people ask me that. And a couple of people asked me this week and I said, yes, you got 2 first games. It's at least good to confirm some things on video, because by week 5 or week 6, when you see somebody, you pretty much know who they are at that point.
With all the injuries and the way the first half went, was this a pretty important game to win?
Yes, very important game to win. From last week to getting the injuries to getting our quarterback going, just everything. Yeah, it was a very important win.
Any more questions?
Just one more. Ron was 3 for 3 last week. Ends this game with a big one. Nice to know that you have a kicker that can make those big kicks in the crunch time now.
Yeah, I think that he's obviously got a long way to go, but again, the mindset, the character for Ron to step into Michigan last week and hit 3 for 3, and and then to come out there today and hit that one the way he did, that's very encouraging for I know our whole football team and for Ron. You know, Ron's come a long way, and he'll tell you since he's been here. The best thing we could ever do for Ron Caluzzi was redshirt him last year. You know, and a lot of kickers, as talented as he is, they get thrown in the fire right away. And Ron had that luxury last year to watch David Harmon prepare and watch his mindset. And Ron's really grown up and matured and really toughened himself up. And you know, yeah, I mean, having a kicker, guys, as you know, is a huge, huge thing. If you don't have a kicker, it makes a lot of things difficult for you. So we're happy with how Ron performed.
All right.
Thanks, guys.